Okay, great Big 12 basketball today at the highest level early. I'd like to give, first of all, a shout out to our crowd, man. Our crowd was terrific today. You know, our students showed up today at a very high level. Longhorn Nation was here and behind us and supporting us at a very high level. And I'm really proud of my guys and how hard they competed today against a really well-coached team. Coach Scott does a great job and has built a great program. We have a lot of respect for him over at Baylor. And but I'm just really proud of the effort that my guys gave today and really what they've done over really the last week. You know, we didn't have the outcome we wanted early in the week, but they bounced back and they stayed the course. And I'm really happy for what we were able to do today.
Questions for the players? RT, give the mic to Kendall, please. Thomas Jones, go ahead, please, sir.
Tyrese, kind of two-part question. Number one, can you take me through those final seconds? Like, were y'all going to take a timeout, or was that the plan? And what did you see? And number two, can you put this win in perspective, considering what happened earlier in the week and just where y'all were at in the standings?
I kind of figured that we wasn't going to call a timeout because it would have happened right away. So I just knew I had to get down court. I already looked at the clock, how many seconds was left. I was looking for Max to Sue flash for me. And I just knew from there I had to get downhill, try to make a play, either get fouled or, I got to make a layup. So, and what was the second part of the question?
To put the win in context with what happened earlier in the week.
Yeah. I mean, we had to come and bounce back, get back to ourselves, finishing out games, and that started in practice, just challenging each other. So, just coming out here today, believing in each other and going out there trying to get the win.
Eric, go ahead, please.
This question is for Kendall. Kendall, RT consistently talks about being a star in your role and the fact that, the fact you're able to affect the game in the second half without scoring, just defense, energy, and effort. A, just talk about that, and B, how challenging is it for you when, you're coming off the bench and the minutes are kind of up and down to really kind of keep that consistent effort and know you can affect the game in that way?
I just let it come to me, either not getting the ball, getting the ball. I'm okay as long as we win. I'm a team player. I know I'm going to put my all because my teammates are going to do the same for me.
West Scott in front.
Yeah, can you tell us, what Coach Terry asked you to do against Jacoby Walter and how you were able to make it a little bit more difficult for him in the second
really just
half?
pressure him, stay solid, try not to foul. It's our yellow defense, and really just be me, He tells me to be me, do my thing, so that's what I do.
Corey in the back, coming to you.
Just for Dessou. Earlier, a couple weeks ago, you talked about how y'all do hear that outside noise from everyone talking. And so for this win, I know it's big time for the Big 12 standings, but just for RT and for everything that has transpired over the last couple of days, what does this win mean for you and this team and for RT?
Yeah, I feel like in order for us to be a successful team, we have to be together, and that's what we stressed this whole week. And everything we do is for each other. When we play for each other, play for RT, play for the coaching staff, then we feel like we can beat any team in the country. And so that's kind of what this win kind of symbolizes for us, is that whenever we do what we're coached to do and play as hard as we possibly can, that we can beat any team.
Hi, this is for Dylan. Before Tyrese's game winner, there was the moment where Kendall had that tip out for the rebound. How does that exemplify him as a player?
Yeah, he's one of the hardest, if not the hardest, playing dudes on the court at all times, and credit to him because that's not an easy thing to do. That the coaching staff has challenged him to be a junkyard dog for us, and it may not be the most fun all the time, but he's so unselfish and is willing to do that for us, and that's what it takes to make a team successful. Is guys like him.
No in the back, camera.
For Tyrese, what have the last couple days been like kind of in the locker room? What have you guys been talking about as far as rallying together, and what did this win today show you about your guys' resolve?
And just getting that dog, in us in closing time and winning time. I feel like we start off good, and we kind of, just let our foot off, but you just got to come down to, listen to what the coaches say. Locking in, making sure we do the little details so we can go out there and win the game.
Jim in front, please.
For Tyrese, the three-point shooting in the first half was going so well, and then honestly it just looked like your shot was off in the second half. Nothing was even getting close. From where we were sitting, it almost looked like you were having some cramps or something, and yet you found like that burst at the end to make it to the basket. How were you feeling in the second half and with the shooting, and then being able to have that that burst at the end to get to the basket?
I think the shots just came from we kind of got away from our flow. Late clock, shot clock. They were switching everything. I think that's where it came from. And I just had got need in my leg. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't out there playing with that, so I can be free out there with the guys.
Eric in front, please.
This question is for both Tyrese and Dylan. I don't want to put a damper on the win house. He just got it, but the Big 12 schedule doesn't end. You got Oklahoma coming up next. How do you guys carry this momentum into Oklahoma and then this continuous tough stretch of Big 12 opponents? Dylan?
Yeah, we always talk about win or lose, you have it for one day, one night. So tomorrow we have to come back in, watch what we did on film, the mistakes that we made, the positives that we had, and try to apply that for the next game. We know that Oklahoma is a big rivalry game for not only us but them as well, and so we're going to get their best shot. But that's what we came to Texas for, and that's what we look forward to.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're good. Did you have, I'm sorry. I was the question for both Dylan and Tyrese.
Yeah, exactly what he said. You got it for 24 hours. Just make sure we carry that into practice so they can carry on to the games with the same intensity on the defensive end and, just go out there and play hard.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Raise your hands. Questions for Coach, please.
Yeah.
Scott, right here in front of us.
Yeah, RT, 2 turnovers for Tyrese late in that game on Wednesday, benched him for the final 6 minutes. What were your conversations like with him in the last couple of days leading up to this game, and then a follow-up to that after?
I wouldn't necessarily say benched him. We just, decided to go a different direction in terms of who was playing on the floor at that particular, junction of the game. Tyrese is a kid that I love like my own son. He's one of those guys that, you're going to get his best every day. And he's a competitor. He's a competitor. And, he played great tonight. We spent a lot of time talking to our guys away from the basketball court. So it's bigger than basketball with our guys. We're trying to instill in them, professional life habits, to where they grow. They learn through basketball how to deal with life. Right now it's easy playing a basketball game. Life is really hard, And, he's a guy that I have the utmost respect for, and thought he came out tonight and competed at a very high level.
A lot of big-time recruits in this game. What do you think they saw in this environment and what the University of Texas is all about?
Well, we have a great home court. Our students are back here, and we're excited about them being back. They were gone for a while at the start of conference play, but they definitely make a difference in the Moody. They bring a different kind of energy level to the building, and obviously we have, if not the best venue in all of college basketball to play in. Longhorn Nation's done a great job supporting us as well throughout this season, but we have a home court, and it's one that we don't take for granted.
Coach, we talked Wednesday night about how was it time to push the panic button on this team, and you said no. You gave us an answer on that. But talk about the quick turnaround. This was a Baylor team that you knew was going to come in swinging, and you guys, the last 9 minutes, y'all left them with just one basket. Talk about how you guys made the change.
Well, it's a top 10 team. Scott has a really good team this year. They played really well to this point as well. So we knew coming in that we were going to have a huge challenge to deal with a team that could put pressure on scoring the basketball at a very high level. Again, at the end of the day, this race is going to be every night. There's not one bad team in our league. Whether you're at home or on the road, you're going to have to play 40 minutes against a really good team. And, our mentality was, we were going to come in and have a survivors type mentality where we were going to come in and continue to compete and continue to get better and continue to work the game. It didn't fall the way we wanted to the other night in terms of finishing the game with the outcome we wanted. But, you have it for one night. You got to come back and get ready for the next top 10 opponent, So that's the mentality we tried to have all year, and I thought our guys did a great job of regrouping, coming back and, working through some of the things we did well in the previous games and also working through some of the things we didn't do so well in that previous game.
Steve, follow-up.
Coach, did you think this was a must-win game for your team tonight? Is that the way you guys approached it?
I don't think again. We're 4 games in, 5 games into the Big 12 play. I mean, every game's. I mean, to me, I don't get our guys caught up with that kind of stuff. We do that at the very beginning of the year. We approach this game no different than we approach the first game of the year. It's the biggest game of the year because it's the next game. So that goes back to what we do in our culture. We don't ever get too high. We don't ever get too low. We have an even keel. And is the next game a big game? Yes, it's the next game on our schedule. So it is the biggest game.
Thomas in front, please.
Coach, the guys were talking about they're hot shooting the first half. Second half, you're 0 for 8 from threes. I mean, just how would you describe down the stretch what y'all did to win the game? And did you consider taking a timeout on that last possession?
Well, Thomas, I think in this league you're always going to win with your defense. You can't go in saying you're going to shoot a team out and win the game. These guys tonight shot the ball extremely well. They were 11 for 22 from 3. You got to be able to put some stops together. That's a really good scoring team. We feel like we have a pretty good scoring team as well. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to put some consecutive stops together and try to win the game with your defense. And that's all we kept talking about in the last 8 minutes was we've got to try to, to stand our ground right now, finish possessions with blockouts, and we've got to stay the course here defensively. Offensively, we'll figure out what we have to do from an offensive standpoint, and we did. I thought our guys did a great job of executing down the stretch. When those guys changed their defense and went zone, our guys came out of timeout. They executed the play we wanted. We went to the foul line, and we got things done. I think the last part of your question was the timeout situation, right? I think, again, you can do a number of different things. I mean, we practice special situations. We have a package to where we talk about getting downhill with, X amount of time, whether that's to be to attack for a 3 or to get downhill for a basket, And in this case, we didn't need a 3. We needed to get downhill and get to a 2. And, you call timeout, you give them a chance to set their defense. Now you got to deal with full court pressure. Then you have to deal with whatever type of changes that they may have in the half court, whether it be maybe a zone, and so then you've got to be able to have a play that works against man or zone. So you have a lot of different strategies that go into play in the game. And so don't call timeout, don't overcoach. Let those guys do what we do and what we practice. And we got downhill and won the game.
Coach, Kendall was, over here. Kendall was obviously so big, made that one play to kind of extend it late. It obviously meant a lot to the coaching staff, but the players were getting so fired up for what he was doing. What does that mean to you to see that kind of buy-in and how much it meant to everybody?
Kendall's been brought in all year long. He's been a star in his role from the start of the season. He's helped us win ball games, and a lot of times, a lot of things that he does, the impact games, doesn't show up in the box score. He shows up every day. The way he plays in games is the way he practices. He practices that way every day. He goes extremely hard. He makes winning plays, effort plays. He goes about his business, never complains about playing time, and he's just a winner. But he came from a winning program. Timberview, those guys were, won a state championship, got coached at a very high level in high school. So, Coach Gregory and those guys, they do a great job over in Timberview. So, we knew what we were getting with him. We were getting a winner. And, he does it every day.
Coach, Tyrese in the first half was obviously on a heater, but, in the second he was missing shots, dramatically. What did you tell him whenever he came to the bench and, it was obvious his shot was a little off to keep his confidence up and eventually hit the winner?
Yeah, just keep playing defense. Keep playing. I thought he played his best defensive half of the season in the first half. And if you go back and look over the times that Tyrese has played well and he scored the ball here, he's had a great defensive game. When he gets lost playing really hard on defense, offense comes really hard to him. I'm not going to say in the second half he didn't play as hard as he did in the first half defensively, but I think it comes really, really easy for him on offense when he has a defensive mentality. And he had that at a very high level against a really good player in Dennis in the first half. And he scored a lot of points.
Eric in front.
RT, just what I asked the players, obviously you want to celebrate this win, but how do you carry this into Big 12 play? And just a second part of that question, Coach, the week, obviously it was what it was. I'm sure you don't pay much attention to what, the random people on the internet say, but when your peers, people, you've been a coach a long time, people in the coaching profession have opinions on the week. Just how's the week been for you personally?
There's always going to be different things you have to deal with in life. I think you have controllables in your life in terms of, what you're able to control, in terms of what happens, and, I always tell our guys there's always consequences to any actions that you may have. I had no intentions of trying to show up anyone or offend anyone in terms of, what occurred at the end of that game. Johnny Dawkins is a good friend of mine. He's a really good coach. He has a good program. They're having a good year. Personally, if I offended him or his program or anyone for that matter, that was not my intentions, I'm a God-fearing man. I lean heavily on my faith. And there are no obstacles in front of me that I can't ever overcome because God never leaves me, no matter in good times, bad times, he's always with me. And so, I think, again, you control what you can control. And, I'm proud of our guys and what our guys did today. We'll keep it for one night, and it's on to another great program, great coach, and a team that's having a great year to this point right now that we have a lot of respect for.
Rodney, you've obviously coached at Texas and Baylor. Would you like to see this rivalry continue beyond this year?
John, man, you've been around a long time, man. You really have, man. Great to see you still here, buddy. God's good, right? You know what? Yeah, it's a great rivalry. It really is. I think anytime you have two great, academic institutions in close proximity, we recruit the same players. And it's a great rivalry. I mean, Scott's built a great program there, won a national championship. Nothing but respect for what he's done, at Baylor and in Waco. I spent some time in Waco, enjoyed my time there as well. And I think there's going to be opportunities in the future to continue to be able to play. And you want to play the best in the country, and why not when you have that closer proximity to where we are and where we both are located.
Corey, in the back camera, please.
Yeah, Coach. First question: how much better is this team when Tyrese is as aggressive as he was tonight?
I mean, Tyrese has made our team. Even last year's team. When Tyrese is playing at a high level, he raised the level of our team. And especially when he's playing at that level defensively. Tonight he came in with an incredible defensive mindset and really set the tone for everyone else. And when he did that, he made offense came really easy to him tonight because of that. And I think again it's really who he is and who his identity should be. Moving forward and stuff. So just proud of the way he played for us, proud of the way our guys played, proud of the way they responded, and God's good.
And then on that note, during the Eyes of Texas, saw you show a little bit of some emotion. Where was that coming from?
I was just really, happy for our guys. They work really hard. They put a lot into what we do. We have a lot of passion for what we do. We have a lot of passion for where we are, and who we're representing. And we try to do that in a class manner at the highest level. And if I offended some of our fans as well and not handling myself the right way in terms of, going about it the right way, then, I apologize to our fan base as well and everything. And I understand what it means to be the head coach at the University of Texas and what our brand stands for. And I respect every opponent that we play. And have the utmost respect for them and their coaches. So, again, I'm happy about the outcome of what transpired today. We played a really good team that's well coached, that we have a lot of respect for, and we're going to enjoy this evening.
Thanks all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.